that is a tasty beverage. One that I have needed for the last couple weeks. Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, the number one podcast about stuff and things and stuff that are important to everybody across the world, across the astral plane, across everywhere. It is what it is, except in your heart of hearts, soul of souls, because we are the number one podcast proven by people far smarter than ourselves or yourself or anybody. And yeah, it's just science. Just don't question it. Welcome back. We had a small hiatus, and we will discuss that here in a second. Pretty much, long story short, both of us went out of town around the same time, and schedules just didn't line up to be able to get episodes out. So you had a little break from hearing our voices in your ears on Wednesdays, but we're back now, and we are full steam ahead getting ready for spooky season, which I'm sure we'll talk about. We'll be unveiling and starting a new segment next episode. This episode, we got other stuff to talk about, but next episode, we'll start a new segment. I guess we're calling it Cinema. I don't know. We didn't really come up with anything better. But I guess that's what we're calling. So we're going to run with that. And pretty much you guys submit horror movies, and then we will pick a horror movie out of the submissions, and we will watch one each week, and we'll break it down, and we'll talk to you guys about it, give our rating, reviews, discuss it all, tell you if your movie sucked, feels good, all that good stuff, and shout you out, all that. But I digress. Before we do anything, I need to welcome my esteemed colleague back because he's looking very sad over there. Welcome back, the one and only Mr. Christian.
What's up? Feels good to be back. Sorry we've been gone for a little while for those of you who missed us. But man, stuff happens, dude. That's how it goes. We were both out of town. I had some stuff going on as well, so here we are.
It's one of them things. Life comes at you, and it is what it is. You guys understand we're here. We didn't leave you. We didn't go get milk for long. We come right back. Part of it.
It's like one of those like insurance commercials that used to come on back in the day, and it was like life comes at you fast. They knew what they were talking about because life indeed does come at you fast, and it doesn't stop.
It does indeed. So we have a lot to discuss. Christian, you excited for the new segment? Are we sticking with cinema?
I mean, right now, yeah, I think cinema is where
we may change it right now. If you're in my Discord, it's labeled as cinema. But you can also DM us your social media. Geez. You can DM us on social media your movie suggestions. They are horror movies. Please don't send me like an Adam Sandler comedy or something and be like, here, review this one, because that's not what we're doing. We're reviewing scary movies. It's spooky season, and we're both horror fans, and that's just what we're doing. Just let us do our thing. And it should be fun. We already have one submission coming from Jordan that I think we're both. It may actually be the first one. First come, first serve. He might have snuck in first, and I believe it's not a movie I've seen personally, and I don't think Christian's seen it either. So
no, I have not
this
seen
will it. This will be an honest, like, first impression review, not something we've both been exposed to. But I do think movies we've been exposed to, and I'm just going to use the thing as a reference point for whatever reason. Not saying suggested thing, but stuff we've seen at length multiple times. It will be cool to kind of go back through and then just, take notes and like, I don't know. I think maybe, who knows, we may pick up something new this time. Probably not, but we might.
I mean, it's possible for
sure.
Yeah,
it's possible, but I mean, yeah, it'll be fun still.
There's also that thing that could happen where
definitely push the boundary and try to test us with new stuff though.
Yeah, there's definitely that thing that could happen that I've run into recently myself where you go back to watch a movie you used to really like, and then you watch it, and it's not as good as you thought it was. Not even close. So that does happen.
You remember it being a lot better than it actually is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week. How do you want to do this? There's a lot I've watched, read, listened to, and played. Not really played.
Yeah, I think for the sake of
time... Or do we talk about the news first?
You know what, man? Because we haven't been here in a while, just tell us what you've been up to, dude. I want to hear it. I'm actually
you don't want to hear the
so
news first? You don't want to go news?
Oh, well, you have news, right? You got news.
I've wrote down some news.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on your list or not, but there's some news of stuff. So I thought we could touch on it, and I'm sure we'll talk about it if you want to do that first, or we can save that until after we go through all the stuff we've been into.
Well, let's go ahead and hear the news, and then we'll go into what we've been doing.
Okay, we're going to start. Spooky season is around the corner. As mentioned, we have a new segment coming over. Drop either in Discord channel under the Sippin With Sin section. Drop your suggestions there in the cinema, or hit us up on social media for those. And we'll be doing one each week and going over it. Past that, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle rumor is out. It is rumored to be announced. Not that it's coming out, but to be announced on December 22nd.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I saw that and I was like, got a little tingle in my loins, you know? I'm like, ooh, give it to me.
That'd be a nice little Christmas,
I mean,
Christmas
it's just going to be an
gift there.
announcement. They're just going to tell me, hey, next year probably, like next Christmas or something.
I mean, well, it has to be because if it's coming out, if the announcement is for December, then the announcement would be like, hey, guess what? Next year we're gonna have.
Okay,
I mean, of course.
stupid question. How does that work? Is it sub when it comes to theater or is it dub?
So, both. To answer the question simply, both. Some theaters will have the sub version, some theaters will have the dub version, but that also depends because when studios like this do movies, like full length movies, they typically go ahead and do the sub and then do the dub as well because they have the scripts and everything. So, like for an example, when the Dragon Ball Broly movie came out, and when the My Hero movies in general came out, they had both versions. You just had to choose which one you wanted. So certain times had subs, certain times had dubs. Certain theaters only got dubs, certain theaters only got subs. But they tell you before you see the movie. So, like for an example, if you're going to go to your local Regal and you were, on your phone scrolling to see what times the movie starts, it will tell you subbed, or dubbed. It tells you in parentheses, just like it does when you're scrolling on your apps. So they do have both versions. Typically in the past, they will send both. You guys know me. I prefer the sub versions. Those are the ones that I watch because I want to just get the emotion that you got from the original, voice actors and whatnot. Not saying that dubbed isn't good. I'm just used to reading the subtitles and going through the motions. So when it comes to theaters, I will be looking for a theater that has subbed. But when I saw the My Hero movies that I watched, they only had dubbed versions. They did not have them subbed. So I had to just deal with the American voice actors, which were like they do a great job either way. So yeah, to answer your question, both just depends on what theater you go to, what time.
American voice actors. I enjoy them.
That's good. I haven't heard them in English yet, to be honest. I've only heard them said.
Zenitsu, I'm trying to remember. He's in another show because I heard the voice and I was like, I know that voice.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't something we watched? It might have been Solo Leveling. I could be wrong. He's in something.
I know a lot of those voice actors swap around and do a bunch of different stuff. So that's kind of cool to see and cool to hear. But like I said, man, I've been watching sub stuff for so long now. I'm just used to that. But don't get me wrong. I say this every time, so I know I repeat myself, but there are anime that I watch and I need to watch the dub versions just because I don't like the Japanese voices, and Dragon Ball being one of those. Like, I can definitely watch Dragon Ball in Japanese, but I prefer to watch it in English because Sean Schimmel is Goku to me. That's just how I grew up watching it. That's how I prefer. So Sean Schimmel is Goku for me. That's how I watch it. Vegeta is Chris Sabat. Piccolo's Chris Sabat. Like, you know how that goes. So that's what I'm used to. But anyway, though, thank you for that news because I actually didn't see that, and that's cool to know.
All right. Next portion of news. It has been announced that Salem's Lot will be coming out on Max October 3rd.
Yeah.
So just in time for spooky season. Someone can suggest that, or if not, we're going to probably talk about it anyways, truthfully, when it comes out.
I'm definitely going to talk about it, and I'm glad you brought that up because that is something that I wanted to talk about, hopefully briefly. I'm really glad that this movie's finally coming out. I don't. I'm really glad this movie's finally coming out. I've been waiting for it to come out for 4 years now. Probably longer than that, to be honest.
It's been a while.
But I've been waiting for this movie to come out for forever. I'm very excited this is coming out. It's coming out on Max. I have Max, so I get to watch it essentially for free, which is awesome. Here's the problem. That movie was supposed to come out in theaters all this time. It is now being dropped almost unceremoniously this October, which is at the time of this recording, in a month. It's coming out in a month on Max, which could mean one of two things. One, they really just want the movie to be out so people could see it. So they dropped it on Max because it was the easiest thing to do and it was the most cost-effective way. The second option is this movie isn't good. And by dropping it on Max, they are essentially taking a loss and going ahead and putting it on Max and just getting that money back and the revenue for people, logging on and watching it, or it's so bad to the point to where they just needed to go ahead and just take the L. They put it on here. They didn't put it in the theaters. They didn't want to see what the critics had to say, all that stuff. So it worries me that this movie is coming out on Max. With that said, I'm still going to watch it. I'm very excited to see it. I've been waiting for this movie forever. I want the movie in my life, so I can't wait. Like I said, I'm excited either way, good or bad. I'm here day one. As soon as it drops that day, I'm gonna watch it, and then I will have some in-depth notes, of course, and a review for you guys. So, and I'll probably make a TikTok about it too. For those of you who follow me on TikTok, but I'll definitely be watching that and letting you guys know what's going on. But thank you for bringing that up because like I said, I am excited. I'm a little worried, but I'm still excited.
Another Max thing. I didn't put this in my notes, but I did see it. I'm not sure. It comes out. I think it might come out in October. It's either October or November, but that would be Penguin. It's getting very good Rotten Tomato scores right now.
Yes, it is.
I think it was at last I looked. I think it was 91%, and that's without notes in front of me. It's somewhere. It's in the 90s, so that's good. That's good. I'm excited for that. Is it? Do you know if it's October or November? Do you remember?
It is November.
It's November. Okay, well that's good because spooky season's jam packed. So I'm glad they're giving me. I can focus on that in November. Speaking of November, I don't know if Christian's ever watched these movies, but Peach Fuzz is making his return as Shudder is coming out with a Creep series debuting November 15th, and it'll be 6 episodes with the main character returning.
Nice. That's really cool. I just realized like a couple of days ago that I no longer have my subscription to Shudder, so I have to like renew that here at some point because I went on there because I'm pretty sure this month they have the movie that we actually just watched not too long ago.
It comes out. Time of recording is tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
In a
I got on there because I
wanted
I
fully plan on
Nature.
Rewatching so I can fully be like into the movie. I may do that this weekend. We'll see. But yeah. Yeah.
I definitely want to get on there and see it. But I realized I didn't renew my account, so I have to figure that out. But yeah.
Christian breaking stuff. Go figure. Other news. I actually didn't know about this. The missus brought this to my attention, and that would be there is a new M. Night Shyamalan movie coming out in October. But I know he just had Trap come out. His daughter had a movie come out, Watchers, like a couple months before that. He actually is not the director of this movie, though. He produced it. The movie is directed by Celine Held and Logan George, and it is called Caddo Lake, and it comes out in October. Christian, do you know who is one of the main characters or stars of this movie?
Tell me.
One of mine, yours, and also the missus actors that we all like, and me and you probably have a fandom for him for different reasons than her, but Dylan O'Brien is in this movie.
Oh, snap. Then I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
If Dylan's in it, I'm going to see it.
I like Dylan O'Brien. I'm not shy about it. I like his acting. It's all Christian's fault. He got me onto Teen Wolf, which we're not going to say is a great show, but I did watch it. I don't care, even if it was teeny. Dylan O'Brien shined it to me, and I was like, this dude's a pretty good actor. Like, I like him, and I've followed him since then, and I enjoy his stuff for the most part. Like,
did you see him in American Assassin?
I'm intrigued.
Did you see him in American Assassin?
I did. It was different for him. It was very different. But I mean, if I see his name, I'm most time gonna be like, I want to watch it. I want to see Dylan in it.
I saw him in that. Obviously, Teen Wolf. He was in Love and Monsters.
Was it Love and Monsters or something?
Yeah, he was in
Maze Runner was his big one.
Yeah, the Maze Runner series was like the one he's most famous for now. But dude, he was like one step away from being Nightwing.
One step away from being what?
Nightwing. He was going to be Nightwing.
In what?
So you remember before DC canceled a bunch of movies like Batgirl and all that, and they were going to put Michael Keaton in the Batgirl movie and show like flashbacks of him as his younger self and all that. they were gonna keep going with that and make that its own thing. And Dylan O'Brien was in talks to be Nightwing for that. Like he was like one of the runner. He was like the main person on there. He was number one who they wanted, and fans wanted him too. So he was totally going to be Nightwing. And then the Batgirl movie got canceled, and they like
I can see
stopped all of that.
I can see
Same. 100%, especially after seeing him in like American Assassin. We know that he has the athletics for it if he needed to. He has the body for it. He has the fit. He has the hair for it as well. Like he could have been an excellent Nightwing, and he has the comedic chops too. So like,
I think that's part of why I like him. He does have like, he's got the look and his acting's good, but it's the comedic like little things he does, like the little mannerisms and stuff that I like.
Yeah. He was also in that Google movie too. Like
apparently, Chad just said he was the voice of Bumblebee in the 2018 movie.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I don't think I knew that one either.
Well, dang. Okay.
Then
and he's a smoke show. I mean, he is a handsome dude.
I mean, yeah.
This is Christian's fault that I have a fandom for him. I would have found out about him later on, but Christian was like, check out the show. And I was like, screw the main character. I'm not worried about him. Who's this other dude in the show? Like, he's more interesting
the main
to me.
Character, yeah. I wish so he played Styles in the MTV Teen Wolf show. And
dude, MTV and horror shows make me want to headbutt stuff though.
Oh yeah.
They really do.
For sure.
I tried so hard to get into Scream. We're derailing a little bit, but I watched it and I was semi into it, but at the same time I was like, God, you guys are just like dumbing it down like teenage style so hard right now.
Yeah. I enjoyed the first season for what it was, but it wasn't really Scream, and I hated the mask that they had. Like they didn't have the rights to the actual Ghostface mask, so the one that it just looked like if you took a candle and melted it, it just kind of looked like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, there were parts that I enjoyed of at least the first season, because after the first season I only watched like one. That's really funny. But yeah, I didn't watch most of it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get into it too much after that. And then they had the actual Scream mask in like the last season, and the last season apparently was Boo Boo Shoes. But I didn't watch it because it didn't look like it was going to be worth a damn. So there was that.
I might have. How many? Was there like 3 seasons?
Yeah.
I watched the first season for sure. I might have seen part of the second. I know I didn't watch the third.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
Okay, moving on to news so we don't get caught up. But yeah, M. Night Shyamalan produced movie with Dylan O'Brien in it. Caddo Lake comes out sometime in October. I don't have a date for that, but should be interesting. I don't know. I'm assuming theaters. If it's Shyamalan, then more than likely theaters, unless it's I don't know. But I haven't seen trailers, so I don't know if it actually is in theaters. Because usually they would have trailers.
Do you know what it's about?
No, the missus actually told me about this today. It's the first I'd heard about it.
When an 8-year-old girl disappears on Caddo Lake, a series of past deaths and disappearances begin to link together, altering a broken family's history. So it's going to be like a mystery thriller show, which I mean I'm kind of into, or movie, excuse me, not show.
October 10th is what I'm getting told it comes out. It's being released on Max October 10th. Oh, hell yeah. That's even better. So a week after we get Salem's Lot, we get
Salem's Lot, then we get this.
Yo, back to back in spooky season. I'm for it. I'm down.
I'll do both. I'll do the same thing for both.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at it right now, and the only actor that I know off the top of my head is Dylan O'Brien, and luckily he's like the top build. So that's really
all
good.
we need. Christian, that's all. We're sold.
Lauren,
we're easy to sell.
We're
true. We're like little girls right now. Like we saw Dylan O'Brien, we're like sold.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you. Honestly, you are correct. That is all you need.
Yeah.
If Dylan O'Brien is in it, I will at least give it a shot.
And Dylan O'Brien, I was like, all right, cool. I'm watching it. Done. I don't even know what it's about. Clearly, you just had to tell me what it was about.
I mean, like you said, Dylan O'Brien's in it. I'm gonna check it out.
All right, so
I'm a huge fan.
That's back-to-back shows. So there you go. Coming up in October, you'll have reviews of both of those, plus what you guys submit. But moving on, because I don't want to keep dilly-dallying along. These next two, I'm sure, are gonna inspire Christian to talk a lot. So prepare. 2 more things of news. Christian, I want you to choose option A or B. because I know you're going to talk about both. So choose one, and I'll bring up that news first.
Okay. Let's go B.
Okay, that's a good choice because that's the one I'm more excited about. Option B would be we have Wolfman news.
Yeah, I had that in my notes too. Okay, all right.
First and foremost, there was I don't know if you can call it a leak. At a horror con
it was a
or
calculated leak. Yeah.
Mask con or something, the Wolfman mask was shown, obviously way before anything shown in the movie.
It was for Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay. The mask has been shown. It is. I want to see it in action. It's
wait. Hold on. Before you say anything, let me say this. When I first saw this leak, if you will, when I first saw it,
call it a leak. It's a mask, like, and it's at a.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was immediately pissed. I was like, first off, what is wolfish about this? Minus it being like hairy.
For those that don't know, it looks like an old man, a long-haired old man.
It looks like this is what it looks like straight up, because I don't have a visual with me. For those of you listening, obviously there's no visuals. For those of you watching this either live or on YouTube, like it looks like one of the characters from Wrong Turn. That's what it looks like. And when I saw that, I was like, really? It looks like legit one of the hillbillies from those movies. And I'm trying to remember his face, his name. Sorry, one of them had a name, and I can't remember what the name was. Man.
Well, while you think about that, I'll give what little bit of notes I had. So yeah, the mask showed up not long after, probably a few days to a week later. We got the trailer for Wolfman, the first trailer. The release date is January 17th of 2025. I will say I love how they revealed the title of it. The way they did that for the trailer was really cool. So yeah, we've seen what the wolf looks like supposedly on the mask, but you don't see the wolf in the trailer, which I'm a fan of. I much rather not know what the wolf looks like until the movie. Keep it more suspenseful that way and have the big reveal. The lighting and visuals seem pretty cool in the trailer, and all that seems cool. And I didn't know this, but Ruth from Ozark is in the movie. Apparently she's one of the main characters. I can't think of the actress's name. I'm sorry. But those that have watched Ozark, it's the blonde-headed girl. Pretty sure her name's Ruth.
Curly blonde?
Yeah.
One Eye. That's what I was trying to say. It looks like One Eye from the Wrong Turn series, but obviously a little more jazzed up and stuff. I do agree with Sin. I want to see this in action because I know it's a different take on the Wolfman.
Yeah.
And from this isn't confirmed, by the way. This is speculation. But right now, what I'm reading is this isn't the typical, lichen werewolf bite that you get and turns you into this. It is some kind of wolf that has rabies that then bites our main character, and he turns into this thing that we're describing. It's like this weird rabies out guy that he kind of turns into.
I mean, that makes sense with the director though, because I feel like
the director is Lee Winnell,
and
he just did Invisible Man,
and they tend to be more trying to make it more realistic, I guess, if you will, as realistic as you can make these without,
Yeah, for sure.
More realistic than Supernatural, I guess, is what we're trying to say, right? Like they're going more in that realm.
They're pulling a Christopher Nolan Dark Knight. You know what I mean? So, first impression, I did not like the look, and I'm probably not gonna really like the look, but that doesn't mean I won't like the movie. Because another perfect example of me not liking the look of something but loving the movie is again The Dark Knight. I think Batman looks like a Reebok shoe in those movies, and I'm not a huge fan of the Dark Knight costume, but I love the movies and how they work, how they function. The way that Batman is and the way that he's explained and how he works in those films is fantastic. So that's kind of how I'm viewing it right now. Not like a Joker situation, more so the costuming, right? Because it's the only part right now that I'm not sold on. And if I'm not sold on the costume, on the look of this Wolfman,
do you think they're swerving us at all?
That'll be okay.
Like, this is Wolfman.
I don't think that they're swerving us because they can't afford to, and that's my honest answer. They can't afford to do that right now.
So you think that actually was the mask they dropped? Why would they have the mask for this Halloween anyways?
Halloween Horror Nights is a huge attraction, and that's where you draw a lot of people in for things. And it's Blumhouse, and Blumhouse does things as cheap as possible. So that's why.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, that'll definitely be one I'm sure we'll talk about, and more than likely both of us will probably end up in the theaters watching that in January.
I mean, I tell you right now, I'm 100% going to go see it.
As big werewolf fans as we are, we have to.
Costume be damned. I'd go see damn near anything with a werewolf, as long as it's like a werewolf and not just like a big dog, because there is a difference for me. But yeah, if it's got a traditional werewolf in it, I'm probably going to see it.
Okay. All right. So Wolfman news, that's what we had. Did you have anything else on Wolfman before we move on to the other news?
No, that was it. You covered most of it.
Okay. Sweet. We had a trailer today for something else. Venom, The Last Dance trailer dropped. Releases October 25th. And my quick notes, Christian, which I'm sure you have notes as well. I imagine you had already wrote this down somewhere, didn't you?
I didn't write this down on purpose because I didn't want to talk about it for 45 minutes.
Okay. Well, look, I have 5 lines. They're very short, and it's just my thoughts. I literally jotted down thoughts as I watched the trailer, and I left it at that. I didn't try to go in detail. I didn't try to break everything down. It is the third installment of Venom, the final installment, I'm assuming, of Venom in his own solo movie with Tom Hardy and stuff.
The epic conclusion, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so releases October 25th. Tom Hardy's back. Okay, so my notes, Christian, get ready because I know you're going to love these. What in the Xenomorph?
Oh, yeah.
First note, because in the trailer, those things right away reminded me of Xenomorphs. Null? Is that how you say his name? Null?
Yes, Null. Yes.
Null. Okay, Null.
We
get an appearance of Null.
K-N-U. The way that you spell it is K-N-U. I'm sorry. K-N, yeah. K-N-U-L-L. Null.
Yep. And I'm assuming that's the big baddie for this movie that I guess is over the symbiotes or something. I don't know. I don't know the story on that. I'm sure Christian will tell us.
If my comics are right over there, but
I thought something was about to. Those watching on YouTube, I thought Christian was about to get got by a xenomorph or something. The way he turned around so quick. I don't think I've ever seen you move so fast. Okay, past that. So no. Then we have Venom in Vegas, Venom Horse, and then who is in the prison? Was that Carnage? And did they recast Carnage?
It looked like the guy that plays the Lizard in the Spider-Man movies. I'm like pretty sure that's who that was.
I don't think that's him.
I think it was.
I don't know. Because Woody Harrelson played Carnage.
Yeah, I don't think it was Carnage though, because there's a bunch of symbiotes. Like Carnage isn't the. I have so many thoughts about this.
So that was my notes. That's it. That's all I had. It's pretty straightforward. I didn't want to get too in depth because I knew it would spiral quickly. So what do you got, Christian? Go ahead and.
Okay.
Oh God.
It's the final. It's the final Venom movie. That's cool. They're giving us Null, the symbiote god. For those of you who don't know, Null is the person, the entity essentially that created all symbiotes, all of them. All of the symbiotes that we've been seeing in these movies they have different personalities, different powers, and all that stuff. But they haven't put Spider-Man in any of the movies, so they don't really explain how symbiotes are, how they work. Hive mind that they come with, they're called the Clintar, which we know. They come from the planet Clintar. They are Clintars. That's how that works. But Null is one of the most powerful villains in Marvel. Everybody fought Null and got their ass clapped, bro. Like cheeks straight clapped. Null didn't give a damn. He fought Silver Surfer. He fought Thor. He fought Hulk. He fought everybody. It didn't matter. He bombarded these people. You know what I'm saying? You guys thought Thanos was a problem. Thanos is nothing. Null is a problem. And Null, the The only reason Null was even defeated in the comics is because Eddie Brock Venom got what was called the Enigma Force before he could like defeat this character, and then Eddie Brock as Venom then becomes the new god of symbiotes. Like they call it the King in Black. So for those of you who have seen or at least know of the Venom King in Black storyline, that's what they're pulling this from. He is a villain that is in my brain, it's impossible to bring him into the story and make him make sense in a way that like really clicks, because the King in Black event spanned like all of Marvel. Like all of these characters had to deal with the problem that was Null. So I don't know how Venom by himself. There's no way in hell that he could do anything.
You think they bring Spider-Man in?
No, it's too. I mean, it's no, I don't. To be honest with you, because if they were bringing Spider-Man in, I feel like they would have advertised that in some way to get people even more excited. They're just banking on people knowing who Noel is, which a lot of people do. A lot of people who read comics, like comic book readers, like we go see these movies even though they're not good all the time. Hearing that Noel's in the movie, it's like, ooh, how are they gonna do? What's he gonna look like? How's it gonna be? But like, a part of me really wants to go crack that comic out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But like, man, it's Noel shows up after Eddie Brock has a son. All of this stuff, it's insane. Venom has, it's a lot. I'm trying real hard not to go on a huge tangent about it, but it's like it's a cheap thing to do. Putting Noel in this movie is a cheap thing to do because people who know who he is are obviously going to want to see him. Like we want to see how they're going to treat him in this movie, but there is no way that they're going to treat him correctly because Noel fought Celestials, bro. Like, come on. He fought Silver Surfer. He fought Celestials. Like, all kinds of things happen. He enveloped the world in darkness. So many things happen with this character because he's that powerful. Like, he is a problem. So putting him in the movie for this last go around, like they have to depower the shit out of him. That's like the only way I could see them putting him in the movie. And it also doesn't make sense that he's coming back this time around either. Like I don't know. Venom knows a lot of shit in these movies that he shouldn't know, at least in the way that he knows them. So I don't know, man. And then they killed off Carnage in the last movie, which is crazy because right now in the comics, as of right now, Carnage is a problem. Like he has done so many things. He is now immune to like every form of thing that symbiotes are usually weak against. Fire, ultrasonics, like none of that even matters anymore. He can do so much shit now that he's essentially a symbiote god in of himself. So it's a lot going on with that in the comics, and then them to just throw him into this movie, like I don't know how that's going to be. I do want to see it though because I'm curious and confused and concerned. I do want to see what's going to happen, how they're going to rationalize it, how they're going to make it work for the films. So I'm going to go see this. Just it's Venom. I love Tom Hardy. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah,
but
I like the dynamic
I
of
don't
Venom,
know
like how Tom Hardy does the voices and stuff. I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I like I'm fighting every urge that I have not to just go over there and find that box. But yeah, it's insane. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So yeah, we don't know who the guy in the prison is. Christian thinks it's Lizard or maybe another symbiote. Another symbiote would make way more sense than Carnage. Just saying.
Venom fights so many other characters other than other symbiotes though, so I wish that they would show us that.
I didn't recognize him, so I don't know.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so that pretty much I think covers the news, but we're gonna segue into stuff we've been watching, reading. I wanted to start with stuff we've listened to. For me,
okay.
First thing, as of today, a new Whitechapel song dropped. Christian, have you heard it?
I haven't been able to listen to it yet. No.
Visceral Wretch is the name of it. My notes for it is as follows: heavy as balls, Christian.
Of course.
This is more of older Chapel stuff like that, like with the heavy chugs grooves, and Phil's vocals are good. Goddamn. They are, yeah, Dude, they're Phil. They're mean. Throws in some mean mids, but lots of like just nasty gutturals. And the Whitechapel that I know, this is more in the vein of somatic and like This Is Exile and stuff. So I dug it. I definitely dug it.
That's good to hear.
Another thing that is new that come out music-wise, Christian, and we've talked about this briefly, and I wanted to play a fun game real quick with you on it.
Okay.
And that would be Within the Ruins dropped their new album a couple weeks ago, Phenomena 2. For those that are not familiar with it, Within the Ruins, they are a prog tech death band, I guess, would be probably how you would break them. I guess that would be the genre. They've been around for a while. They're awesome dudes, awesome musicians. They put out really good albums. But Phenomena, this is the 10-year anniversary, I believe, of it. I think Phenomena 1 came out in 2014. But Phenomena was all comic book based. Every song was based off a comic book character, which was really dope. And they did a sequel. The original or the older vocalist did Phenomena 1, but this the newer vocalist did Phenomena 2. Steve. I went blank for a second. Steve did Phenomena 2. And I want to play a quick game because I know Christian has listened to it. Christian, you've listened to it, right?
Briefly.
Oh, this game's going to be fun because Christian's not going to know. All right. So each song, some songs are pretty straightforward and you can tell who they are, but some of them you have to think a little bit and there's little Easter eggs in it. So I'm going to go down the track list and just say the song title. I want Christian to tell me who it is about. No Googling, Christian. Because I don't know if you can find all of them, honestly, if you Google. Because some of them are kind of obscure.
Or have they already looked them up yet?
Oh, I know every one of them. I got them all. I'm not going to lie. One of them, I don't know if I should tell you. Because one of them, I was like, I had an idea, but I was kind of stumped at the same time. I was like, I think it's within this universe and this character, but I didn't know what. And they told me, and I was like, oh, that's pretty clever. I like that. Because, full disclaimer, if you want to hear more about Phenomena behind the vocals, I interviewed Steve. We talked for like 3 hours about everything. It was actually awesome. But, Christian, you ready?
I mean, I guess so.
All right, it's going to be a fun game. Let's see. We're going to test him a little bit. Some of them are going to be pretty easy for him. So, we'll see how many you can get. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12 songs. So, we'll see what I will have to give you a grade, what you get out of 12. All right, first song, Castle in the Sky.
Like the anime Castle in the Sky?
No, that's the name of the song. It's Castle in the Sky.
Oh, Castle in the Sky.
I'm giving you the song title, and then you just tell me what comic book character it's based off of. Off the album.
Oh, there's a couple characters that could be for Marvel anyway.
Where this is not going to go well.
I mean, there are it could be Magneto. It could be.
I will tell you this: no character that was used in the first album is used in the second album. There's no repeat characters. Magneto was in the first album.
Okay.
Magneto and Professor X are used in the first one.
Castle in the Sky. Hold on, because now I'm thinking I'm trying to differentiate between Marvel and. Am I?
Yes. I wonder if I'm gonna put a time limit on you.
I mean, if I feel like I can't get it, I'll tell you. Hold on, give me a second.
Christian, you've listened to it. You should know it.
But I mean, it's been a minute. I listened to it when it dropped, and I haven't. It's because I've been.
Christian's breaking my heart right now, live on the podcast. I was so excited to do this with Christian because I personally love when they do concept. I love Ice Nine does this. I try to guess the songs based on listen to them, finding little Easter eggs here and there.
I mean. Shit, hold on. I feel like I know this stuff.
You do know this. Christian, you are overthinking it. This one's easy. This is a layup.
I'm overthinking it because I'm on the podcast live right now.
Come on, Christian.
Jesus.
How do you like this? This is how last call usually is for me. When you.
I mean, last call I'm usually like.
No.
Oh, you know what? I do know who this is. This is it is Marvel. John Berthel, Punisher. It's Punisher.
Yes, Christian is right. Punisher. It's Castle in the Sky. Literally Castle. Christian says Castle.
I was overthinking it because I was thinking about an actual castle in the sky, not the character.
Okay, next one should be another layup. Christian, I swear to God, if you struggle with this, I'm ending this podcast and I'm done with you. The next song is called Daywalker.
Oh, that's Blade.
Okay.
100%.
Dude, I was so hyped when I saw that. Literally, the title popped up the first time I listened to it, and I was like, they did Blade. No shot. Then I was like, ooh, it's so good. I was so happy. Okay. This next one might be tricky. We'll see if you can get it. All right, so you're 2 for 2. Next one is Demon Killer.
Demon Killer.
Yeah.
Shit, hold on. Demon Killer. Demon Killer.
I can bet money now Christian will totally go back and re-listen to this album after hearing the characters. He's going to be like, ooh, hold on.
I will, 100%. I'll probably
It's a great album, by the way. If you guys haven't listened to it, you like metal, I highly recommend checking it out. It is a really good album.
Demon Constantine?
Yep, 3 for 3.
Nice. Thank God. I was thinking that took me a minute. Though.
Okay, the next one is an instrumental. So this one has double meaning per Steve. This is the 12th instrumental they've done, but the title is named Level 12. That is the title of the song, Level 12.
Level 12.
There's double meaning to that. It's an instrumental, so there's no lyrics to like give you context. So that one's going to be kind of hard. Level 12 is a hint towards who it is, though.
Is it a comic book character or a video game character?
They're all comic book characters.
Okay. Because
whether it be comic book or movie. But, yes, they're comic book. Well, I mean, comic book would be still... Movie would still be comic book, yeah. But comic book characters. The whole thing is comic book characters.
Level 12. Level 12. Level 12. Level 12. That would... Hold on. The reason why that one's different is because I can't think of like what, because I'm thinking of straight video games, and I think that's my issue. Level 12. I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
Brainiac. Level 12 intelligence.
Oh, he's a 12th level intellect. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also their 12th instrumental, so it kind of worked out. Like,
I wouldn't have guessed that one because
he said they wrote whenever he got the track, it's because it had like kind of a spacey kind of vibe to it, and that's what come to his mind was Brainiac.
I wouldn't have guessed that for a couple of reasons. One, because only like real comic book nerds will mention Brainiac as a 12th level intellect, and also the other reason why I wouldn't have thought about it is because I'm not really thinking of. I wasn't thinking of a comic book character. I was thinking of video game characters. Okay. That seemed like a video game reference. So yeah, that was getting me. But that makes sense though now.
Next one. So your first miss. You are currently 1, 2, 3. You're 3 for 4. Next one is Eater of Worlds.
Galactus.
Boom. Good job. Okay. 4 for 5. Next one should be another layup. The Last Sun.
Oh, Superman. Good
job. Okay. Christian's only missed one so far. Okay. This next one took me a little bit to get. I'm not going to lie. This one was a little bit of I was kind of stumped on this for a minute. Chaos Reigns.
Chaos Reigns.
Chaos
It could be
Reigns.
So many characters.
Chaos
It could be
Reigns.
Joker. It could be...
They've done Joker. Joker was calling card in the previous one.
Chaos.
I don't know that you'll get this one.
Chaos Reigns. Hold on.
I'll be shocked.
Did you guess this one?
Huh?
Did you guess this one?
No, it took me a while to get it. Because there's little things in it that finally tipped it for me.
What tipped it for you?
Mention of 2 kids,
the lyrics.
Losing 2 kids or something like that. Something along those lines. It also had reference about a father and mutants and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, then it would be a Marvel character then. An X-Men character. Villain. I'm I'm trying to think of which X-Men villains like are all about chaos that they haven't already used though. Is the
I don't know
thing.
that this is a villain.
Oh, well, I might be thinking about it too hard. Not too hard, but too. Yeah, I'm probably thinking about it too hard. Chaos Reigns, Chaos Reigns. I know it's a Marvel character.
Yeah,
Um,
I can tell you that much.
like, I know
I could
that
be wrong. I
part.
wish I had the lyrics so I could read parts of it to you, but I don't. I should have totally prepped and got some of the lyrics. That's my fault.
I mean, you can look them up. I'm still thinking.
I'm not looking them up. We're not going down the rabbit hole.
Chaos Reigns, Chaos Reigns. I feel like if I don't say something and then I ask you who it is,
For the sake of
and then
time,
you
you
tell
better just
me.
throw something out there.
Chaos Reigns. No, they already used him. Sabretooth? No, it's not Sabretooth.
Nope.
Damn.
You ready?
Yeah, I know it's an X-Men character though. I know it is. Who is
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking Scarlet Witch at all. I'm not gonna lie.
So wait, so Scarlet Witch is
Scarlet Witch.
Magneto's daughter? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that and something about the kids is what?
Oh yeah, her. So that's from the No More Mutant story, which is a House of M. I know exactly where they're bringing it from. I got you.
Scarlet Witch, Chaos Reigns. The next one, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know it had parts. There were little melodies in it, and I was like, "This sounds like something I know." But I ended up. Steve told me I don't know if I should tell you, so maybe we'll just leave you hanging on this one. But Death Mask.
Death Mask.
It's another instrumental, which is part of why it was tough. They have 3 instrumentals in this album.
Is this a DC character or a Marvel character?
That's the only hint I'm giving you. Yes, it is a DC character. And we're going to have to time limit it because we are starting to push time. And we still...
It's not Black Mask because that's too on the nose. Death Mask. Just think characters are a mask real quick. What do you think? No. Death Mask. Damn, I know it's a DC character because you just told me that. It's a villain though, right?
Yep. Well,
it's not a villain? Okay, that
no,
helps.
I mean,
It could be.
Depends on the story.
God damn it, Death Mask.
We're just gonna go the next one because I don't know if I don't know if I should say it because I don't know how many people. From what I've been told, not a lot of people have guessed this one correctly. But they even sent me pictures and stuff, or Steve sent me pictures to reference, and I was like, I'll be damned.
Okay.
So I don't know. Next one, Corruption.
Man, that's vague as hell.
Mm-hmm.
That could be so many characters. That could be.
I will give you hints. DC, Batman. Batman universe, not Batman specifically. Batman universe. That is as much as I can give you.
Is it Scarecrow?
No, Riddler.
Corruption. Oh, I was still guessing. Damn. Sorry, I should have said that.
What do you mean still guessing? This ain't like no damn. You get one guess.
One guess. Oh, well, shit. All right. No, I was gonna guess like one more. It wasn't Riddler.
The lyrics kind of give Riddler away, talking about like all the different things, and like I think at one point he even says like riddle me this.
Oh, well then yeah, that would let me know.
All right, the next one, A World on Fire. Not gonna lie, first time I listened to it, I like jammed out to it, and it didn't click who it was, and the name didn't set it off until I heard it again.
The Daredevil?
Yes.
Okay.
And the next time, like I listened to it, I heard A Man Without Fear and different things. I was like, damn, that's Daredevil. I'm an idiot. I should have paid closer attention the first time. Okay, and then the final song would be Enigma 2, which is an instrumental. There's really not much to guess. If you've heard it, then you already know, but they play the X-Men 97 theme in it, which slaps so hard. It's so good.
I actually haven't listened to that.
Oh,
that
dude,
one yet.
go listen to it. On top of Within the Ruins, like techie stuff. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right. 6 out of 12. Which a couple of them are instrumentals are kind of hard to guess. Enigma, there wasn't much to guess. So 6 out of 11, pretty much.
All right, cool.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Okay, so we're running long. So pretty much this episode is going to be catch up, and I have some movies to talk about. Hopefully we won't talk too long, but I have seen 3 movies since we last spoke, and a show. That will probably take up the longest. So we're going to knock out these movies pretty quick. First movie, not a lot to talk about. The wife was really excited to watch this. I watched it with mother-in-law, wife, and brother-in-law and all that stuff, and we watched Twisters. We checked out Twisters. It is what it is. My rating, I have ratings for each one. I gave it a 7, and that's as high as I think I'll go with it. Honestly, just the science of tornadoes and twisters and all that is what makes the movie for me. That's the most interesting part, is like that whole breakdown of like how tornadoes happen and how they're trying to understand them, or what they understand of them and all that. Yeah. And especially like Tornado Alley down in like Oklahoma and Kansas and all that stuff. It's gnarly. Screw that stuff. I will say there's way more deaths than I expected in Twisters. That was about it. Because I don't know that many people really died in the first one. But yeah. So that's about it. That's about really all I have. Christian, do you have anything to bring or ask about that?
About that movie? No.
Yeah. So if it's your thing, I mean, it's not a bad movie. I'm not going to say boo-boo shoes. I'll give it a 7. Is it something I'd watch all the time? Probably not. If it's on TV, am I going to turn it? Maybe not. Because I mean, tornado stuff, storm stuff is kind of interesting. And they do talk some science stuff and have things. So it is what it is. Now, the next 2 movies are horror movies that I was pretty excited to watch. And I'm stoked to talk about. Christian, would you like to choose option A or B? Because I cannot wait.
This time we're going A.
A would be Trap. I'll watch Trap.
Nice.
Strong 8 rating from me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's got mixed reviews, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say
mixed reviews leading towards not good, but yeah, they are mixed.
So I could see why. I feel like the writing kind of corners itself to an extent in the story. But my saving grace, and this could be just me, and I feel like it will be a big saving grace for you. The main character to me is very important, and the fact that I get to see them back in horror movies makes me happy. Josh Hartnett is the man. That is one of my notes. Josh Hartnett's the man. It's good to see him back in horror. I feel like, personally, Josh Hartnett does a great job in this film, and it's a cool concept. It has a nice twist. Since it's a Shyamalan movie, I was expecting a bigger, more dramatic twist than it had.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a letdown. I was expecting a little more because he's known for his over-the-top, like, throw you for a loop twist. It was still a good twist nonetheless. There is a twist there, but it's not as grand, I guess, as you would expect. I think they did a good job having a serial killer in modern times, you know, with technology and everything, because most time when we see serial killers, they're around the 70s, 80s era. You know, technology is not as advanced, so it was easier for them to do crimes. Obviously, with higher technology, cameras, everything, you know, it's different. It felt dexterous at times, and I liked it. Josh Hartnett, the way he flips switches from being that overly nice, goody-goody person all the time, like just smiling and like, yeah, sure, we would love to go have lunch with you, huh? You know, just all that to like, I want to stab somebody kind of thing was really cool, and I dug that. I think it is getting Jordan in chat said it's overhated. It's a solid M. Night flick. I think it is too. I would give it, I don't know, I'm gonna stay at 8. I don't want to go above an 8. I think 8 is a pretty solid rating for it. Again, it does kind of corner itself. I think the whole pop concert star thing, obviously playing off like how pop stars are now and how crazy people get, is cool. And then, you know, essentially, if you've seen the trailer, you know they're planning a trap to catch the butcher, a serial killer, because they heard he was going to be there, or they were going to be there, excuse me. And they are setting an elaborate trap with like SWAT and everything and all this stuff. And yeah, I mean, and it's no secret they kind of show Josh Hartnett is the serial killer.
Yeah.
In the trailer.
They do that like right off the bat. Yeah.
So, I mean, It's pretty cool. I think Hartnett, maybe it was just the fact that I was happy to see Hartnett again, could help me boost it. M. Night Shyamalan's daughter is, I guess you can say, a co-star or pretty high on the bill. She is the pop star, something Raven. I can't remember what her name was. Something Raven. And she does okay. She's really short. She kind of caught me off guard how short she was.
That's pretty funny.
And also, Josh Hartnett must be like, I'm gonna say he's probably 6'4" or something. I feel like he's tall.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 6'4" for sure.
Because he towers. Like when they stand, I'm like, good God. And she's got like heels on. But yeah, I would say that.
Remember how cool Josh Hartnett was in Penny Dreadful?
In what?
Remember how cool he was in Penny Dreadful?
Dude, Josh Hartnett in horror just makes me happy. If you go back 30 Days a Night, Halloween H2O, Faculty, right? Indian Faculty?
Faculty is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Right? Yeah, wearing his like baggy shirt underneath his t-shirt, like his long sleeve.
Yeah, long sleeve.
Penny Dreadful.
I wanted to wear clothes like that so bad. My mom at the time was like, no, but now that I'm an adult, I can do what I want.
It's great. I think maybe that's part of it. Granted, this is not technically a full-fledged horror movie. It's more of like, what, a thriller? Suspenseful thriller?
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to rewatch it, and I'll tell you if I go lower than 8. But, I mean, I feel like it deserves an 8. I like Shyamalan stuff for the most part. I mean, he's had some that The Village that pissed me off that I was like, you know what? Shyamalan.
You don't have to defend yourself to me, man. One of my favorite Shyamalan movies of all Signs.
Oh, yeah. Signs banger. Sixth Sense great. I even liked, what's the one? Old recently was pretty cool. I liked it. Didn't he do, what's the one with Sundowning or whatever with the grandparents? Was that him?
Oh, yeah. The Visit.
Yeah. I like, there's some that are not as great, but
Devil was cool.
Devil. But it's Shyamalan. You kind of know what you're expecting. I think I like the fact that, A, it's a serial killer, which we don't see a lot of movies around typically anymore, especially like a modern day serial killer. And, you know, it's Shyamalan. Like, you kind of know what to expect. Shyamalan usually, they're solid. So, yeah, I'll give it an 8. And so good to see Hartnett. That's like my big, bold note. Hartnett is like, I know you're a big Hartnett fan too. You like him, so I feel like that's a big selling point for you. And yeah. Next movie, Christian. This movie's been hyped pretty hard to me. So, you ready for Longlegs? I have watched Longlegs.
Nice. I still haven't gotten to see that one yet.
Longlegs, strong 8 rating.
Nice.
I watched Longlegs before I watched Trap. I would probably say, man, I like Trap for the serial killer stuff and Hartnett. Longlegs is, look, okay, I'll give you my notes on Longlegs and I'll kind of explain myself quickly because I know we're running low on time. Nick Cage does fantastic in this film, which is great because if you watch Nick Cage stuff, you know Nick Cage stuff. There's a certain thing you kind of expect with Nick Cage, right? Like you kind of, and it's funny because a lot of people were hyping this movie to us, like, oh, it's so creepy and blah, blah, blah and all this. And I asked the missus because we were watching it. It was kind of late one night. I was like, so is this movie going to freak you out? She's like, no, it's Nick Cage. I can't imagine Nick Cage freaking me out. Exact words. So I was like, okay, you know, fair, whatever. Nick Cage does great. Nick Cage, you can tell it's Nick Cage, but it's not like Nick Cage I've seen really. He's creepy. I liked it. He did very well in this. The movie, I will compare the movie right now to you to Midsommar.
Nice.
There are jump scares within this movie. Obviously, I don't expect you to get got by any of them, Christian. None of them got me. We're kind of desensitized pretty bad to that stuff. One of them got the missus. She said she was falling asleep, but, you know.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it got her good. Like, she jumped pretty hard. The movie makes you feel uncomfortable from the start of it to the end of it. It gives you a feeling of, like, dread and just uneasy, which I think is good. It's a good, like, tone for the movie. I wouldn't say it's
Okay.
overly scary. It's just that dreadful uneasiness throughout the movie.
Gotcha.
So I think that's really cool. It's a cool concept and story. I was expecting it to be a little scarier than it was with as much hype as behind it. But then again, every time you see one of the previews, it's like, oh, this movie's terrifying. It does this. Generally, they're not going to scare us, usually. Like, if you watch a lot of horror movies, that's more for, like, your, teeny, not teen, but you know what I mean? Like, people that aren't, like, avid horror fans, I guess, that just go to a theater wanting, like, a scare, I guess.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So there's really cool camera work and shots in this movie. I love the fact that when they do a flashback, instead of it being the full screen, because when I watched it, I literally thought, like, what the hell did they shoot this in? When they do a flashback, it's smaller size. The screen is a lot smaller with the box around it, like a big black box. So it's like a different camera angle, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's making it like an old, like, so you know this is a flashback kind of thing.
Okay.
I think that's pretty cool. One other note I had was the end credits scroll in reverse. So instead of going from the top down, right, like credits normally do, they start at the top and they scroll down, you know, like that. They start at the bottom and scroll up, like they're coming from hell.
Nice. That's like I think that's old school how that happens.
But I dug that. I thought it was, like I said, strong 8 rating. I did like it. Nicolas Cage does awesome in it. Midsommar is probably the closest thing I can think of on, like, that feeling it gives you. Like, it's not something that, like, you're going to be just like, well, I mean, most people, well, I'm not saying most people, I guess, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all rent that one?
Yeah, we saw it. We got it. We got it that way. I think, it may be streaming somewhere. Hell, I don't know. Dude, that's been a couple weeks ago now. We're asking questions from a couple weeks ago. I've had to, like, have these notes. No, both of those I recommend watching. I would love to hear your thoughts. Christian may hate both of them. I feel like he may not
like
give
I'm gonna
Trap
like
an 8. I feel like he'll give it probably around a 7 or 6. Because he'll probably find faults and stuff. But then Hartnett will save it for him. Longlegs,
I'm excited.
Longlegs, I feel like you'll like.
Okay.
Longlegs is they're after a serial killer. Again, another serial killer thing. And it's pretty crazy. It's almost like a
style? Like Seven with Brad Pitt?
No, like Amity-ish style serial killer kind of thing. But although Amity's not a serial killer, but like that kind of, like, we can't figure out how this is happening serial killer, but like families are getting killed and there's like a certain stuff that goes along with it.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool.
It sounds right up my alley.
Well, I can't really say much because it gives away stuff, but there's some stuff that it has an older feel to it. I can say that it has an older feel to the solid movie, which is good. But yeah, that's it. Do you have any questions about either of those before I get to the show? We've took up like the whole.
I definitely want to see both of those, but Longlegs, I want to see the most.
Yeah, Longlegs has been hyped a lot, but I would say it's good. I definitely, if you're a horror fan or you want something spooky season, you get a chance to watch it for sure. Finally, Christian, I know this is about to this is poking the bear here, and this is about to get you riled up. I watched your suggestion. I watched Berserk, Golden Age arc. All 13 episodes. I'm done. Here's my notes. Christian's all in the camera. If you're just listening, Christian literally is leaning in the camera. He's so excited. Cool art. I will say it has cool art. Story was interesting, but I'm not gonna lie. I kind of got lost a bit near the end.
What you get lost about?
No, we're not done. Let me get through my notes, and then you can bring up your stuff. Lots of nudity. First and foremost, there is a lot of nudity and sexuals.
I told you it's adult. There's
a disclaimer on pretty much every episode. They're like, hey, there's some stuff about to go down. There's gonna be graphic stuff. There's gonna be sex. There's gonna be nudity. Like, it's nonstop. The show is very bloody, which is dope. Like, very, very bloody. Griffith is a prick. That's from the moment I met him. That is my whole thing about him. Like from the moment I saw his Alucard looking self, I was like, this dude's a straight prick.
Oh my god, yeah, 100%.
Guts is insanely strong and tough, but a very strange name for a main character.
Right? Guts. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. But like it makes sense for the story. It makes sense for what happens. It makes sense for him. Like,
all right, and this final note, I'm sure is just gonna segue Christian right away. I'm wondering if instead of watching the Golden Art or Golden Age, which it did have, you said something about an egg at one point. There is something about an egg in that title.
mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if instead of watching that, I should have watched the anime. I think it's the '80s anime. Instead.
Yeah, so the anime is harder to find because they just released the anime on like Blu-ray 4K. And I almost bought it last week, to be honest. But I had to pay some bills. I had to adult, and the price went up. So the price is now it's more expensive than it was last week, which fucking blows. But all that to say, I'm definitely gonna get it. It's actually in my cart right now. I just haven't bought it because
is the anime better than what I watched?
So the full disclaimer: what you watched, the version of it that you just watched, I haven't fully seen yet because I've watched the anime, the one that you're mentioning right now, and I watched the updated movies that came out after that, which is what I was trying to get you to watch, but they weren't. They were no longer available, which sucks because they've been available for free literally up until when you decided to watch it. So that's insane. But there's different versions of it. And to answer your question, I think watching them all, and obviously the best way to get this is to read it. Like anybody that reads something and then sees an adaptation is going to tell you to read it, and it's true. I mean, it makes sense. That's how I got it, and it's literally sitting right over there. Like I don't have all of it yet because money, but like it's sitting right over there. And aside from that, like it gives you the whole story. You get inside the characters' heads more. You get all the information. It's not dumbed down so that they could like cut stuff out, put stuff in. Like it's the whole thing. Um, it is long. It's longer than Demon Slayer for sure, but it doesn't feel like it's that long. Like it's definitely long. It doesn't feel like it's that long because of how easy it is to read and how you get into it and how stuff happens and how much shit Guts
Didn't you
goes
say it's
through.
not finished?
Guts, it's not finished because it's kind of like a George R. Martin situation, right? No, it's not. Not yet. Let me say it this way: the artist and the writer, they're the same guy, Kentaro Miura. He passed away 2020, 2021. Like I can't remember now when he passed. I'm not even gonna lie. Let me back up. He passed in recent years and didn't get to finish his story. So the people that he worked with are apparently going to finish the story for him, but they only released a few chapters after his passing. Um, and I just honestly don't know if we're ever going to get the end of that story. And the reason why I said George R. R. Martin is because I just don't feel like he's going to give us Winds of Winter. Like I just don't feel like he's going to give us that book and then the book comes after it. He's written so much shit and created so much of the world of Game of Thrones and so many characters and their backstories and their motivations, all this stuff. I just don't think he's ever going to finish it. He's given us hints. Like every year, there's a hint, there's a hint, there's a hint. But he's not getting any younger. I don't know what kind of health he's in, but I know that he spends a lot of time on Twitter, bombasting the shows that come out and how he hates what they've changed and all this shit. So I feel like we're never going to get the end of that. And that's the same thing with Berserk. Every Berserk fan has had to literally mourn not only Kentaro, but mourn the story not being able to be finished because it's just the way things seem to be going. And he was sick a lot towards the end of writing that and took a lot of breaks to try to heal up and be able to write it. So yeah, it is not finished. It probably won't ever be finished, but it is still probably my absolute favorite, piece of storytelling medium that I've seen because it's so dark, because it's so twisted, but also it tells a really good story. Guts' life really sucks, and to be a person in that world to be the person that is doing what he is doing to try to protect the people he's trying to protect in the way that he's doing it. Like I couldn't imagine that happening. But I really like it. And yeah, Griffith does suck. There's a weird, slimy subsect of people that think that Griffith did nothing wrong. Those people are absolutely insane. But dude, I love Berserk so much. I have a tattoo of it on my arm. Like, I'm
Wait,
gonna get
what do you
more.
mean Griffith did nothing wrong? How can you justify?
Exactly. There are some weird, slimy people in the world
The
that
dude,
hop
okay,
onto
and this
that.
is, I guess it's not really a spoiler, but uh, the last episode, he literally, like, rapes Guts' lady in front of him
Yeah.
with, like, a demon penis or something. Like, it's, what do you mean he did? There is nothing you can justify. And this is not even the first person he's, well, I can't say first person. The other one was kind of like that too, though. They got him in the trouble, right? Like, he essentially,
Charlotte, right? Charlotte.
or I don't know. Did he actually, like, rape her, or was it her dad, like, lusted for her? Like, it's
Bro,
a very dark story.
it,
Like, there's a lot of stuff that you're like, damn, this is like dark.
oh yeah. It goes all the way with how the story is told. Like, it doesn't really hold much back.
Also
That's
got
not the reason.
Hellraiser vibes whenever we went to, like, the alternate hell dimension thing with the angels, as they called them.
Mhm.
Like, I literally got Hellraiser vibes when they all were there. I was like, okay, Hellraiser.
Yeah, you can definitely look at them as Xenobites for sure. Cenobites, excuse me. You can definitely look at them as Cenobites, and that makes a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure that I've made that comparison before somewhere, but just forgot about it. Yeah, dude, it's a lot going on. Imagine like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings type, like that type of world, but with the fucking lament configuration, the fucking puzzle box from Hellraiser. That's essentially what Berserk is. So that's a really good way to put it. It's just like if you were to put the puzzle box from Hellraiser into the time period of things like Game of Thrones, of things. I keep saying Lord of the Rings, but I think Game of Thrones is because of the people and what's going on. But I say Lord of the Rings because it's so fantastical. Uh, but yeah, just Game of Thrones mixed with Hellraiser. That's practically Berserk, and it's a lot. It is very dark. It is very like
Wait,
weird
isn't the
at
80s anime
times,
on
but yeah.
Crunchyroll?
No,
I thought I saw, like, another
no.
thing.
Crunchyroll has the newest
Because it looked
adaptation
like
of
a
the
little
anime.
witch chick or sorceress.
Yeah, no, that one. I know what you're talking about. That stay away from that. That's just trash. I know
Okay.
exactly what you're talking about. That is the newer anime, and it's like all CGI. It's not good.
Okay.
It's not good. I've watched it, but it wasn't worth it.
So is
And there's
it
two
all around
seasons
the
of
same
it.
time frame?
No, the anime that's on Crunchyroll takes place after what you just saw. It's the continuation.
Okay,
But
what
it's
about the
just not
original?
good.
Is it same, like, medieval-ish time frame?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just this anime is older, so the manga, excuse me, is older. And I think the last chapter we got was 2 years ago.
And you said the
I
anime
think I
is from
can't.
the 80s, the original.
Yeah, the original anime is from the '80s, and then they had to update it when they came out like 2013 or something like that, which was the movies that I was trying to get you to watch. But the movies are off now streaming, so you have to buy them. And then the one that you could see was
Oh,
what
so
you
this wasn't
saw.
even what you wanted me to watch originally.
No, no, that's what I was saying. The one that I wanted you to watch has been on Netflix and on Prime for like the last couple of
Is
years.
it better than
So
what I watched?
I haven't seen what you watched because I didn't need to watch it. Does that make sense? I
Right.
watched the original anime and the one that I was trying to get you to watch. So I had no reason to watch what you just saw.
Like, it was fine. It like completely took a huge turn. Like 3 episodes left. We went from, like, just conquering and being assassins, like, or thieves, whatever, going around doing stuff and fighting, and like this whole dynamic, and Guts is Griffith's, whatever that means. And then all of a sudden it's like Griffith is all jacked up and tortured, and then he touches his little whatever ball thing, and like all this stuff happens, and then they're in this alternate dimension, and then everybody's pretty much getting marked and murdered, and then he becomes a demon, and then all hell breaks loose, and then Guts is like determined, I'm gonna go kill you, kind of thing, and loses an arm.
I mean, if I'm being honest, that's pretty much how it happens. It's just more story, right? They just cut out the pieces that you didn't absolutely need. But in a nutshell, you have Guts, who is born. His mom is. He literally comes out of his mom. She's dead because she's being hanged or hung, excuse me. And
Jesus.
He literally falls out. Like it's bad. I'm telling you, the story is crazy. So Guts shows up into the world. He finds a person named what's his name? Jesus Christ. Gambino. It's this guy named Gambino that he's with, and group of like warrior thieves or whatever. Guts gets like sold off to this one guy for a night, essentially, when he's a kid, to be SA'd, and Guts ends up killing this guy. Finds out that Gambino, his like father figure, is the one who sold him. Kills that dude too, and then Guts kind of just grows up and becomes a mercenary and kills people for money to survive. That's literally what happens until he does that, until he meets Griffith with the Band of the Hawk, and he fights Griffith. And Griffith sees something in Guts that he wants, right? That he likes, and he pretty much tells him like, if I beat you, then you're mine. Which means like you belong to me, you're a part of the Band of the Hawk, you do what I tell you to do, type of thing. And you can also read that to be queer coded too, or like whatever you want.
Well, he does make mention at one point. I don't know if they were like ever like together like that, but he said something about like being a demon. He's like, I've seen this guy naked, and I've seen like his flesh, and he's not a demon or something. I've seen every inch of him naked or something. I was like, okay, that's a little.
I mean, yeah, because they did everything together, not in that way necessarily, but that's how it was. Yeah, that's how shit went. But with that said, like Guts would know if Griffith was a demon or not, and he wasn't. He's just a very charismatic dude, and he's skilled, right? But he's essentially, what happens is, once they're doing all this stuff, they're conquering, they're making waves to get a name for themselves. Guts essentially gets bored. That's what happens. Guts gets bored doing this shit, even though he feels like he has like a family now and friends and all that. He's getting bored, and he also wants to do shit for himself. That's the biggest thing. Everything Griffith does, everything Griffith asks Guts to do is all in service of Griffith. Everything that Griffith has is for Griffith. Guts wants his own shit. He wants his own friends. He wants his own like land, all the shit. Everything that Griffith has, Guts wants to taste that for himself, essentially. So after the whole thing with that kid that died, that you probably saw, I don't know like how in depth that it was. Yeah. But after that, that's when Guts decided like, yo, I can't do this shit no more because I'm doing everything. Yeah. He kills a kid, and he's like, everything I do in service of Griffith. Like, I don't do anything for me. And he wanted it for himself. That's the difference. Griffith was so used to winning, so used to being Griffith, right? That he wasn't fighting for anything at that point. So when Guts fought him the second time and won, Griffith was kind of broken as a person because Guts decided to leave and go do his own shit. He didn't hate anybody. He didn't hate Griffith. He didn't want to never see those dudes again. He just wanted to go and see if he could do it by himself, which he did. Came back later on. But after Griffith lost and didn't have what he wanted anymore, which was Guts by his side, he went off and literally went insane, essentially. And that's what Nosferatu Zod, the big fucking demon horned character that you saw them fighting, that's what he told Guts. He was like, this man's going to do everything for himself. You can't stay with him. He's not your comrade, blah, 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 blah. Like, they have that conversation, but Guts doesn't think anything of it because he's talking to a fucking demon at this point. So that does happen. Griffith goes insane essentially because he doesn't have what he wants anymore. It's torture and all this shit. Guts comes back, meets Casca. That all that happens. Casca tells him what happened to Griffith, and he's like, "Well, let's go get him." They go get Griffith and realize that he's all fucked up. And Griffith is essentially petty as fuck. He's super jealous because he can't have the things that he can. He now sees that Guts has. He has the admiration of all the people. He just saved Griffith. He has Casca as well. Like he has all of this stuff, and Griffith wants it because he sees that Guts has it, and he uses the Behelit for that reason. And that essentially, just think of the Behelit as the puzzle box from Hellraiser, like you were saying. Once you open that, the Cenobites show up, and then they offer you power and all that stuff if you give up everything you love. And everything Griffith loved was his friends. You let all them go, you give all their souls to us, we'll make you a demon, essentially, is what happened. And he was willing to do it. So when we see Griffith again with like the demon armor and shit, he is no longer Griffith. He is reborn as Femto, who is the demon that he is. And once he's Femto, he starts taking from Guts everything that he wanted in the first place. His friends, his family, Casca, he does all that shit. And then Guts is the only human ever, not only to survive what that thing you saw, that's called the eclipse. Guts is the only human to ever survive the eclipse, and he vowed to kill Griffith afterwards. And we know that Guts is about that shit, bro. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. So he lost an eye, he lost an arm. Guy? The Skull Knight. We never got the Skull Knight's full backstory in the comics yet. Like, we always get little glimpses.
He rides in like a badass all the time. It's pretty sick. Like, his design and stuff just looks awesome with his horse.
He's dope as fuck. I saw this tattoo that was the Skull Knight. It was Femto and it was Guts, and it looked dope as shit. I thought about getting something like that, but whatever. That's another tangent. Anyway, that story is really good. After what happens to Casca happens, her mind literally breaks. And she's not the same anymore. Like, she
essentially loses all of her memories. Like, she's like a child.
She loses everything. Her mind is fully broken. She loses everything.
It's a pretty crazy anime. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Like I said, man, you're only, that's just the first half. There's so much more going on. It
kind of sets up like he essentially, like, with the brand on him at the end of that one. Like, all these spirits are coming to try to take like the last of his moisture or something, I think they say. Or something like that.
I don't remember.
They're trying to, like, pretty much get him all the evil spirits. And he's like...
And that's where this tattoo comes from.
The knight. Oh, okay. You have the brand of sacrifice.
Yeah.
But he...
That's where that comes from. And that brand just means that you're forever hunted by demons. So every single night after the eclipse, Guts is hunted by demons. They're like out for him, dude, out for his blood, everything. So he has to fight every day.
But he grabs the Skull Knight's sword and like fights all night until daybreak, and the Skull Knight just watches him. And then he I guess essentially vows to keep going. He's not going to stop.
Exactly.
And that's kind of where it leaves off, like him just prepping.
And like I said, man, there's much more to it, but it isn't animated the way that we need. And if you read it, the story isn't finished. We get a lot of story. Don't get me wrong, but we just didn't get the end because the creator of that story passed away, unfortunately. But I highly, highly recommend reading it. I highly recommend reading it. It's expensive though to collect. The prices fluctuate because he passed, so it gets popular, then it dies down, then it gets popular, then it dies down. But for sure. But yeah, that's one of my favorite, or I think that is like my favorite like manga of all time. And I don't even have them all. Like I'll probably just go grab it here in a second and show you the version that I have. But it's cool.
All right, but that's pretty much all I've got now that we've been going forever, and Christian's going to show us what he's got. But yeah, so that's it's been a busy couple weeks while we've been doing stuff. So that's what we got. Let's see what's Christian. Those that are just listening, Christian has stepped away, and he has now returned to the camera. And he about dropped stuff. And he's got a gigantic book. Deluxe Edition Berserk. Looks like it's leather bound.
It is.
Looks very nice. Red print. Giving you guys listening a full description.
From Dark Horse.
That's what I was about to say. I
Which is a
saw the
parental
Dark Horse or
advisory.
something on the back.
Yeah, Dark Horse acquired the rights so they could sell it.
Is the art good in the manga?
Fantastic. Like here, I have to find a page that taken off the damn.
Dude, okay. Full disclaimer:
Sorry.
this is a very graphic anime manga, for sure. Like Christian told me after, I think he recommended it on Pod afterwards. Like I was looking for it and he was helping me find it because it is not on Netflix like he talked about earlier. Originally thought it was, but he was looking for it and then he said, "Don't watch this when Baby Sin's around because it's definitely not child appropriate." So that is your warning if you're listening and you're going to start watching or reading the manga. The one we're talking about that I just watched is Berserk: The Golden Age. Golden Age something Memorial Edition or something. I don't know. It had some kind of weird title.
Yeah, I think
but it's
the
13
Memorial
episodes, and essentially, I guess you get the gist of what it's going to be about, and just know going into it that Griffith is a piece of shit. I'm not sugarcoating it. He really is. He sucks.
There's Griffith right there, Femto.
That's sick.
The art in this is. Here's the thing. This is the first volume. The art in this is fantastic, but each volume, the art gets better. It's the same guy, but each volume, the art gets better because at this point, he's drawing guts and all these characters so much that he doesn't have to think about it anymore. And it just gets better and better and better. So when you get to the final volume of this, it's like a whole different artist. Like, it's so good. Just the first page of the manga, I'm not going to show it on camera, but the first page is already a lot. Like, it's... Yeah, dog. I literally can't show you the first page. I can't. But you get a lot of stuff like this. It's like really hard to see, but you see how like, detailed and dark that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of stuff like that in there. But yeah, man, it's real good if you can get past like the graphic nature of the comic itself or the manga itself. And you can really get into seeing how good it is. If it's something that you're interested in reading, then I can send you a link to do so. Hint. But yeah, you just let me know if that's something that you're into, if you have the time for, and I'll send that your way.
All right. Next on my list is Blue Lock. I think Blue Lock is the next one I'm watching.
Ooh,
but it is getting close to spooky season, so a lot of my time will be going to spooky shows. And full disclosure, I did some searching and I was able to find Interview with the Vampire Season 2, so I may have to watch that in the next week or so, or two.
Oh, you found it? Where did you find it?
Through the interwebs.
Nice. That's
but
fair.
I found it. I haven't checked to see how the episodes are. Hopefully they're good. And yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I want to see.
Okay.
So that may be my spooky season. Like lead up. Last year I can't remember what show. It might have been Interview with the Vampire last year. I think we talked about it. Because I was behind watching it, I think. But I might have watched it last September. I don't know. Anyways.
Because I know I watched it and you hadn't been.
Yeah. Because when we talked about it, you had already seen it and I was slow catching up. Okay. Well, I've took up the whole time with all the news and stuff. So, Christian, what have you been into? Go into your stuff, sir.
I mean, if you want, we can save it because like we're practically out of time, and I have a couple of things. I don't want to like go through them too quickly and not be able to talk about it because we don't have the.
Well,
time
just remember
to do so.
next episode, our meat and potatoes are going to be the first episode of cinema. I don't know. We may come up with something different. We're going to call it Cineflix, but. No, it's Cinemax. That's what we're going to call it. But I was like, man, I don't know. That's kind of pushing it.
I mean, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Well,
I can say a couple of things real quick. One, there's a new Batman comic that's coming out next month that I'm excited for, and it's called Absolute Batman. And just know in that this is a different like universe Batman, and this universe Batman isn't rich. Bruce Wayne's not rich. He is taller than the Batman that we're used to, and he's much bigger. He is a brick shithouse in this comic.
Okay.
Alfred, he isn't a butler. He's not his butler because, like I said, he's not doesn't have all that stuff. Batman, I think, is a engineer. I want to say he's like an engineer of sorts. He makes his own tech. His cape that he makes for himself this time around can like help him crawl on walls and shit. He, I'll have to show you some pictures of him off pod. I'll send them to you just so you can see what I'm talking about. But Batman is bigger than Superman, 100%. He's big as fuck, and he has a giant fat bat on him, just like the Dark Knight Returns version of Batman. But this version of his symbol comes out of his chest, kind of like it did in the Batman, but it forms an axe that he uses to beat the dog shit out of people.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's all interesting. I'm very excited to see what's going on. If I saw this version of Batman coming at me, I'm not doing crime. Forget that, dude. No. I'll work at the Dollar General, bro. We're good. No. Mm-mm. Can't have it. Mm-mm. He's too big. This version of Batman is huge, bro. Like I said, I'll send it to you. But there's a bunch of other stuff that I want to talk about, but we'll get into it next week, and I'll make it quick and simple. But I think that with us being gone for a couple of weeks, we had a lot to go over, and you had more than I did this time around, so I don't mind just like waiting, and we'll come back next week strong.
I want to make a comment because when we're watching trailers today, Mrs. Sin, like, I had seen most of the Wolfman trailer, but I saw it like while we were gone, so I didn't really get to like really watch everything closely. So I'd rewatched it, and it's the first time her seeing it, and then obviously Venom the trailer come out today, so we watched that. But the last one, it was on like the list, like you know how like they'll show other trailers and stuff like that. But Nosferatu, and I made mention as it was starting, I said this is probably my most anticipated horror movie of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the trailer is just so creepy, and I cannot wait. And the whole time I was like, your guy, because she likes the Skarsgårds. And I was like, he's Nosferatu, he's Count Olaf. And she's like, really? The one that did Pennywise? I was like, yeah, that's him. And she's like, oh. And then, of course, you see in there is the guy that plays Beast.
Yeah.
And then also William Dafoe. And
Nicholas
I was like, man, I think this movie's going to be really good. I have high hopes for Nosferatu. I really do.
Oh, real quick for you, Sin. I did start a sketch for the thing the tattoo that you're talking about, but it wasn't what you wanted because I forgot what you wanted. So I started doing my own thing. This was before though. This is before we talked.
It's like all out of focus for me. Ooh.
Oh
no, that made it worse. So it's Tanjiro with Muzan behind him. Ooh. Yeah. So what would you do? Like, what else were you gonna do to it? Was this them too?
So I had him in there. I had Tanjiro in there, back, and then beside Tanjiro, I was gonna have. I can't remember his name, but it was the Miss Hashira, I
believe. Muchiro Tokito, right?
Thank you, Tokito. That's
Tokito is the shit. Don't you dare! You put some respect on that name. That's my.
But yeah, I was gonna have that, and then also I thought another one. I thought Tanjiro doing something and then having Miss Hashira.
You're cutting out. Of course, whenever we're getting important stuff.
Yeah. I mean, no big deal. I got a lot of work to do. It's going to take a long time. And then Inktober is coming up too. So there's so much.
In other words, Christian's never going to draw stuff. I'm going to have to start a GoFundMe because I need this tattoo. Dude, I think it would be a sick leg sleeve to start that and then go into more like anime stuff. Especially as I'm getting more exposed to different animes and like, yeah. You know I have to have something Dragon Ball on there though. I have to.
I mean, I feel that.
I mean, it's gotta be Trunks. It's gotta be my dude.
Future Trunks, of course.
Ooh, Trunks and Gohan would be sick though.
Doing what? Just like next week? No, if I were gonna get Trunks and here, this is just me.
But my Gohan that I like, it would have to be Kid Gohan. It would have to be the Cell Gohan.
Gotcha. Like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan.
Yeah, I like that one.
If I were gonna get a Trunks and Gohan tattoo, I would have to get Future Trunks and Future Gohan. Like with one arm, it would have to be that.
Ooh. With
I would have to do it.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's gotta be future Trunks. I'm not doing kid Trunks. I want future Trunks.
Yeah. Future Trunks is the only Trunks to me. Like Kid Trunks sucks.
And sorry, TJ, I don't know that Vegeta's making the cut. I don't know that I'm putting him on there. Just gotta get that. I don't know. There's so much I'd like to do. I'd also like to do Castlevania stuff. From the anime.
Many people love Vegeta, and I'm not a Vegeta fan. Everybody that knows me knows I'm not a fan. I think he does some cool shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Vegeta fan. So if I were gonna get other characters in Dragon Ball, I would get Piccolo before I got Vegeta. Like any day.
Just going to get Krillin first.
I'm not taking it that far.
Yamcha. Go on.
Nah, if I were getting a tattoo of Yamcha, it would just be him dead in the
God. That's you ought to be damned to shame yourself. Okay, so before we get to last call, have you seen Space Marine? And have you ever played a Space Marine game?
Have I seen Space Marine? Yes. Have I played it? No.
I've never played a Space Marine game, but I'm getting Gears of War vibe, and I'm very intrigued. Also, these games are co-op.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So we could co-op and be Space Marines.
Oh, I forgot this. I promise you, this is the last bit of news, and then we move on. I know that everybody saw that Sony came out with a little press conference or whatever, and they released the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Oh yeah,
so we got to see that. And when they started talking about it, I was so excited and so pumped. And then the more they talked about it, the less pumped I got. And then the more they talked about it, the more I was just kind of pissed off, because essentially what it is, the PS5 Pro is just the PlayStation 5 with better hardware, and it costs $700.
It's high.
You don't get any special games for it, no special controllers. It's not slimmer. It's just 45% better, like better graphics capability. But here's the thing: what they don't tell you is, unless you have a TV that's specifically designed to show you the differences between those graphics,
or a monitor,
and you're looking,
or something,
or a monitor, excuse me, and you're looking for those specific things, you won't really see the crispier graphics. Like when you're playing Last of Us, it does look better, but you won't really be able to see it, because the parts in which you can tell that the game looks better, you're doing shit in the game. So you don't give a shit about the little leaves and stuff that are popping up in the game. And then for Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man game, Sony Spider-Man games that they showed us, they're like, you can actually see all the cars better, and the graphics are better on the cars. It's like, I don't give a damn about the cars, because when I'm playing Spider-Man, I'm swinging, bro. Like if you wanted to sell me on this $700 PlayStation 5, then show me how much better it is to swing throughout the city as Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you and Miles swinging at the same time and shit. Like it's different now. Like Miles pops up or Peter pops up while you're fighting crime and shit. You can see them crawl on the walls to jump down, and then they do see them fighting crime by themselves, and then like show me that kind of shit. Show me stuff that I actually care about. Not, yeah, the cars look better. Like I don't give a shit about that. So like, you want me to pay $700 for essentially the same system that I already have? And here's the part that made me the most upset, bro. Same system, $700, better graphics, no disk drive whatsoever. So for everybody that, like myself, that likes physical media, physical games, watching Blu-rays and 4Ks on your system, that shit's done. You have to buy a separate drive in order to use the discs. I think that that's ridiculous. And they're like, well, you don't have a disk drive, but it has 2 terabytes of memory. That's awesome. But anybody that has a next-gen system knows these games are big as fuck these days. They're several gigs big, and every update, that's more space, right? So every time they release a patch or DLC comes out, or the game just updates because something's crazy in it or whatever, that's more and more and more and more space. So that 2 terabytes is going to be real cool for like a few months, and then, or longer than that, to be honest. But it's going to be real cool for a little bit, and then it runs out, right? But you have fully installed and downloaded games on your system itself. You can't just load the disc back up. So you have to delete that shit and then load it all the way back up, which takes up all that space again. So like when games like Grand Theft Auto, what is it, 6 that's going to come out, when that comes out, you know that game's going to be huge. You know it's going to be huge. So if you don't play a bunch of shit on your PlayStation and you have a two terabyte system, then you'll be in the clear. But if you're like anybody else that's been playing your PlayStation since it came out or whatever, you're not going to have the space to play that kind of shit. But you get better car graphics. So like, it just really annoyed the shit out of me. Do I want one? Of course I want one because I'm a fool. But it pissed me off, and I'm not going to get one. Don't get me. I have no intention
I'm not
on
getting one
getting a
until
PlayStation Pro.
mine breaks. I have no desire to upgrade. Mine does what it needs to do.
Mm.
And then even if it breaks, I don't know. I don't know if I can justify that price point.
No, I can't either. I may have said this on the pod before, but the only way that I would like be gung ho to buying a new PlayStation is if it came out with a new PS5 that was smaller, because the PS5 is massive and it's ugly. So I hate that. If it were smaller, then I would be like, okay, I'm not gonna buy a $700 system right now, but I'll be putting money away for the next 7 months or whatever, so that I can get one and take up less space and it just be more cost effective and conscious for me in my home. But yeah, dude, I just thought that was crazy and had to bring it up, and I can't believe I forgot. But yeah,
so
that's it.
Space Marine.
Yeah,
we gonna play it?
I want to. There's a couple of games out that I want to play. Space Marine, Black Myth, Wukong. Definitely want to do that.
Both of those, I don't have the funds to get them, but both of those are on my radar. Ones I want to play.
Absolutely. And then we got Assassin's Creed coming out. We had you know what?
Silent Hill.
Right after we watched this movie, Silent Hill comes out, and then we also had Dragon Ball Sparkling come out. And they just released the trailer for that the other day with the GT characters. So yeah, the game's stacked. There's a billion characters in it. I'm so excited to play. Like I said, Assassin's Creed, Silent Hill,
Dead Rising remaster, remake.
Dead Rising remaster comes out.
It comes out like next week.
Yeah, if you get the digital version, it's next week. If you get the physical copy, it's November. So yeah, there's so many things coming out that I'm excited for.
All right. Well, it's been a long episode. We had to catch up. We apologize again for the missing a couple weeks, but life happens, stuff happens. We were busy, things are going on. But it's time. It's time that we
pass the whiskey.
That's right. Get your
whiskey
as we go into the last call, and I have no clue if we have one or not. I'm gonna be honest. We're waiting patiently for a kick chat to let us know. I have a feeling it'll be Jordan.
I think Jordan.
It was just sent to me in Discord. Okay. 1 second. All right. Oh my, it is quite lengthy. All right. So last call question comes from one and only Jordan. Think of your nearest supermarket, Target, Walmart, Kroger, etc. So the end of the world just happened along the lines of The Mist. You have to hold out in your shelter for 1 month until help arrives. Although a bear also seeking shelter is trapped in the same place as you, it's just you and the bear. You have a camp set up in a side room. You have to head out once a day for supplies, food, bathroom, and to get any and all tools you can use that are provided within the store to help you survive. You don't know where the bear is when you go out, but it's hiding from you the same way you're hiding from it. Only you are the only real food it can have to survive as well. What is your strategy to make it 30 days, and how long realistically could you make it? That is a lot to unpack.
Right off the bat, I want to say Costco, because
nearest. It's a nearest. It doesn't say pick one. It says nearest.
Oh, nearest.
It says think of your nearest supermarket, and I guess that's essentially where you have to hold out in your shelter.
So the nearest one to me is going to be a Walmart.
Same here. Walmart for me. That's the closest thing to me.
That kind of blows, because that took away all the shit I was just about to say.
No, go ahead.
So then now that it's Walmart, I have to go in there. I'm in the side room. Realistically, how long could I survive? 30 days. Everything.
So essentially, you can't go outside if it's mist. We're not going outside.
Right. It would suck. So the thing is, if the bear's not right outside of the door that I'm in, I could probably last it, you know, if not the full 30 days, at least over 20. And that's because I wouldn't need that much food to survive. And if I'm in Walmart, I know I got food. There's weapons there. I need if I need those. There's clothes there. The bathroom would suck because the bear could just go into the bathroom and just wait for me to come out, which would
He
suck.
ain't
And
waiting. If he goes
the
to the
bear,
bathroom, he's not waiting.
if the bear comes into the bathroom, it can't get out because they don't have. Well, it probably could. It would learn eventually how to get out, or just
Jordan said
break
the
the
bear's
door.
just wandering around, but you can only go out once and only get what you can carry. No buggies.
Okay, cool. Okay, so if it's only what I could carry, then I'm getting a backpack and I'm putting food in it. I'm putting batteries in it. I'm putting uh, maybe some books in it. Just stuff to keep me kind of entertained and shit. Trapped up in this room, and I would steal toilet paper, not steal. I would take toilet paper as well. You're gonna need that. Water, toilet paper, some batteries, flashlight, um, gum, toothpaste, toothbrush. Already said toilet paper, stuff like that. I would take shit like that and then get back to my spot and stay in there. And I'd probably get like a couple of like big bottles and stuff, but not for water, but so that I can pee in them. So I only have to leave when I got to number two. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying not to get
I
mauled by
mean,
that.
you don't get to leave. You leave once, like so. When you're on number 2, that's your like scavenging time. You're not getting to go out to go to the bathroom.
And I say the same thing I just said, but I would just be more conscious of some of the containers that I take because I would be. It's not just sitting in there with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I would do. 100%.
Okay.
What about you, sir?
Well, as someone who once upon a time worked at Walmart, I would probably they have unless Walmarts have changed, which they probably have because that's been a long time ago. They used to have a security room that was like where they would lock up. Obviously, they had one where you could watch like the security would watch, all over the store and stuff. But they had like a lock room for like games and stuff as it comes out, like to keep things locked up that aren't have a release date, a street date. I would probably hold up somewhere in one of those. How long do I think I could survive? I mean, if it comes to running, I'm screwed. Like if I'm trying to I spot the bear and I gotta try to get back to my spot. I so the bathroom is fairly close to that usually. One bathroom is. So you could hit that on your way out. But again, Walmart bathrooms don't have doors. So they have doors, but it's easy for the bear to get in there.
Yeah, it's easy for the bear to get in, but not necessarily out. Because the Walmart doors, you have to pull to
Unless it's
yourself in
scotched
order to get out.
open.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean, you can't get out. A bear in that bathroom is going to take up so much space.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, if you get trapped in the bathroom with a bear, you're done.
Because it's going to eventually break through that stall, or at least swipe you. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide on the toilet.
No. I would say though, I would definitely one of my runs, I would go to like sporting goods, get the biggest bag, whether it be a duffel bag or backpack or something. Get like a lantern, maybe like one of those little propane heater like things to cook, and then grab like some soups and stuff, like canned goods like I could throw in, big jugs of water that I could drink and then piss in. Stuff like that. Just what I could load in the backpack for the day and cook and like survive in there. That's what I would do. And then of course like grab like a bat or machete or whatever, blunt force weapon you could use from there. Dude, you would honestly have to plan like a fast route though. It wouldn't be like oh, I'm out here. Oh, I should go grab a sweater because I've been chilly tonight. Like you'd have to be like, do this, maybe like bathroom. Like you would have to have like a set route, like you see in like zombie movies. Like, all right, I have 2 minutes here, this long here, back in like 10 minutes tops.
I would try to, like while I'm grabbing food and shit, I would try really hard to get some of the fish, like salmon, and like literally throw that around the store,
Oh, okay.
places
I
I
thought you
know
were
I
meaning
don't need to
eating. I
go
was like,
to.
Christian, that's a terrible idea. Don't be
No,
eating
no,
some
no, no,
damn
no.
old
Not
ass
for
fish.
me. No, absolutely not for me. I would be trying to take that salmon
Dude, you
around the
gotta know, he
store,
probably smells
places.
that before. I say he, the bear probably smells it before. Because, I mean, I'm assuming there's no power, correct, in this thing.
I'm assuming there's no power too. That's
So
why
that
I
means
wanted to
there's
grab
no
batteries.
refrigeration. So the meat department is going to start smelling,
Hmm.
which means the bear is going to linger over there and just be feasting.
True, but what I'm saying is
I'm saying your fish is gone after like a day.
I mean, but that could be, but that's not what the question asks. So what I'm like I said, I would try to essentially set the bear up for failure, right? I'm throwing the fish in areas where I know I don't need to be. Like I know I don't need to be in the fucking toy section. I don't need to be in
You don't,
electronics
but you'll
looking at
be like, I need
Blu-rays.
this Batman toy to keep myself entertained.
No, I'm trying
Christian's
to
going to buy a
fucking
damn
live.
Spider-Man like web shooter. He's going to be in there shooting webs everywhere.
I'm out there trying to grab my wallet and pay for the shit. Nah,
Now,
dude,
you
I'm
ain't
trying
paying
to
for nothing.
throw. I'm
Christian's
trying
just
to
grabbing it all.
100%,
He's
100%.
got like damn
Any,
Star Wars Legos in there.
oh my god. But yeah, anyway, I'm trying to throw that fish into places like where I know I don't need to be.
How
Build
could you
one,
still use
give my
sound, Jordan? Phones, TV, speakers. How could you use it? There's no power.
because if anything is charged up at all, you can still use it, right?
What TV's
So any
charged up?
well, not the TV part, but the speakers and the phones, you can use those until the battery dies.
You're talking
And
about like
then
a
anything
Bluetooth
that's
speaker.
yeah, and anything that's analog, you can use until the batteries die. But that's why I said I'm grabbing batteries, I'm grabbing flashlights. Like I want to make sure that I can power up anything that I have. I'm also grabbing a first aid kit and putting that in my backpack because I mean you're gonna need that shit.
How long could you last?
Honestly, bro,
I think you get eaten
if
the
I
first
got a
time you go to
good
meat department.
God, if I could get past, if I could make it back to the little room that I'm holed up in after I make my first initial run, I think I could at least make it like 15, 20 days. At least. I don't know if I could make it past that. Like I'm not sure like I could survive, but I could at least make it over halfway before I'm donezo. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if I had enough batteries and toilet paper and stuff, and all I had to do was fucking wait, I probably could. I could at least get 15 to 20 days worth before I had to really think about making another run for extra food and shit.
I mean, are
Because
you
I would
pooping in the
probably
corner?
eat like,
Go on and get you a
I mean,
bucket. That's what
hope
you need. Just get you a bucket.
and just start shitting in the bucket. That's
Yeah, just
crazy.
put it in the corner of your room and just do that.
I mean, the smell would probably take you out eventually.
That's when you run outside and you sling it. You sling it and freak the bear out. Claim your territory. I'm going to go out there. I'm just going to start peeing on everything. I'm going to pee on clothing. I'm going to pee on electronics. And that bear's going to be so confused and be like, marking my territory.
Oh my God. Well, that was a great last call question. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode. We appreciate you watching or listening to another episode of Sippin With Sin. This is episode 112. That's pretty wild. Again, apologies about the little hiatus. It was not planned. We had planned to try to do as much as we could and hopefully fill that gap while we were gone, but it just didn't work out that way because, you know, life comes at you fast sometimes. And it is what it is. But we're back. We're getting ready for spooky season, and we are starting the new segment next week, so that'll be fun. Lots of spooky stuff to talk about and coming up. So get ready for all that. If you have any suggestions or any lists or anything you would like us to talk about over the next couple months for spooky season, let us know. We would love to plan some stuff out, you know. But you can find us every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and my personal YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister. New episodes every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time. Go thumbs up, rate it 5 stars, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Share it with a friend. It helps out more than you know. We record the episodes every Thursday. That might be changing in the future. We will see. But we record the episodes at 7 p.m. Central Time on Kick, kick.com/IamSinister. You can come be a part of the live chat and watch the shenanigans live. Usually we talk a little before and after the episode, so You can hang out with us then and come harass Jordan and the others in chat while they bug us while we are doing our thing. Yeah, you can find us on social media at Sippin With Sin, SIPPIM with Sin, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. Yeah, everything. All that good stuff. You can find us there. Go show some love. Send a message, say hello, follow, all that good stuff. You can find me on my socials. IamSinister TV, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Twitch, all that. IamSinister TV. You can find me there, as well as kick.com/IamSinister is where I stream. YouTube.com/IamSinister is where the podcast goes live, as well as my other podcast, Behind the Vocals, which goes live on Fridays, 8 a.m. Central Time, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Christian, that was a lot for me to say. Now it's your turn. Where can the folks find you?
You guys can find me on my Instagram. That is all one word. You guys can also find me on TikTok, my full name, Christian Vincent. Those are the only two places I really post right now because, contrary to popular belief, I don't like social media that much. So find me there, guys. I'm always on, at some point of the day. If you leave messages, I'll see those. I'll respond back. I'm seeing what's going on.
This is not true, by the way.
I mean, I'm on there. I haven't been on Instagram. Just because I've been doing some other stuff, but I'm usually on TikTok, just checking some stuff and then hopping off. But real life really does come at you fast, like Sid was saying earlier. Hey guys, you guys find me there, and I'll say what's up to you.
How long do you think it would take you, Christian, before you went crazy and you let your dreads down and you went out there and pretended you were a bear too?
And how long until what now? Say that again.
You let your dreads down, like you untied them, so they're just going. Not like no
just
ponytail.
Loose.
Just loose.
Oh.
And then you go out there and you start growling and pretend to be a bear to see who's the bigger bear.
Oh, man. I mean, probably the last day where I'm like...
It's like, I'm done with this. I'm going out.
Yeah. I would just literally just go out there, rip my shirt off, and just start just yelling and shaking my dreads and slapping the bear in the nose. Oh, dude. I'm beating the shit out of that bear with the poop bucket until it kills me.
Yeah. Not even going to pretend I can take a bear. That thing's eating me quick.
No, I'm gonna die for sure, but like I'm going out hard. Hard as a rock.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this episode. Welcome back. We'll see you guys next week. You don't have to go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here. It's time for Christian to shut down until next week.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode of Sipping With Sin. I can't believe we've been doing this for 112 episodes. That's insane. But thank you guys so much. You guys are all real ones. I'm gonna leave you guys with 3 words. 3 words I leave you with every podcast. If you've been here before, say them with me. If you haven't been here before, listen carefully because that might just save your life. Those 3 words are as follows. Don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.